Hi, everyone. It's Mark Von from the Virtual Cantina Network. I am here with Toby Philpott, who is one of the puppeteers for Jabba the Hutt, one of the best villains in not just all of Star Wars, but all of sci-fi. He's a beast. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you are an expert puppeteer, and you even have diagrams to show everyone to explain what you did with Jabba. So tell us everything about the experience of bringing Jabba the Hutt to life.
Well, basically, I've been working on the Dark Crystal for Jim Henson and doing big creatures and so on. And I got this job as Jabba without auditioning or anything. I was called into the office. It was the next film after Dark Crystal. And they said, "You've been doing big creatures. Do you want to do this one?" And I went, "Oh, wow."
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
by the way, I love Dark Crystal. The movie's killer.
But that was where I was trained in puppets and film. I mean, my dad was a puppeteer, so I was familiar with the art form.
Yes.
But the film business was new to me. And Dave Barkley was given the job as chief puppeteer inside Jabba. So he's doing the right hand.
Yep.
And he's doing the mouth and all the dialogue in English.
Gotcha.
Yep. You know, the voice you hear now was dubbed on later.
Yep. In Huttese. I can't speak Huttese, can you?
No.
Not many people can.
I didn't do the voice. Yeah. He was doing, "Where's my talk droid?" You know, lip syncing.
Yeah.
My job was on the left hand. My inside hand is doing the moving the head around, and my hand is inside the tongue, the lips and stuff. With the left hand, I ate the frog, smoked the pipe, hit C-3PO, grabbed Bib Fortuna. Jabba's basically left-handed.
Yeah.
So
you got a lot of action.
Yeah, I had a lot of the action moves, and Dave was doing the talking most.
Gotcha. Yeah. Dave has signed autographs for us at Top Trading Cards. I know you have as well. We've had you as Jabba in our trading cards back when I used to work there. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dave's a serious puppeteer. He's still working now. He lives in LA and he makes puppets and operates them. I got the job because I was an acrobat and a mime, and you know, I'd done mask work and so on. But it wasn't my main interest. I was a circus worker. I did juggling and fire eating and acrobatics and stuff, and that's really my focus.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. So the puppet thing was a side trip for me. You know, I did 6 years. I did Labyrinth, Shabba Horrors, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh man,
so I did half a dozen movies with.
Yeah, that's quite the run too, to have a small list of movies that every single one of them is iconic in their own way. That's amazing.
Well, and it was the time of creativity. You know, all those things were pushing the limits of trying to do things that had never been done before.
Right, and without I shouldn't say without computer effects, because Roger Rabbit obviously is a mix of animation and everything, but specifically in Return of the Jedi, a lot of what you were doing was practical. You actually show the diagram. You showed me. Like, this is incredible. Because right now, I feel like in today's day and age, we would just do computer graphics for us. It wouldn't be the same.
Well, I mean, essentially, we commented in from underneath. I would stick my arm out. They would put the sleeve on. And so I'm swinging the body around, doing the left-hand moves, doing the head moves. Someone outside would have a radio control through the eyes, all the blinking and all that sort of stuff. I mean, you can find this online if you need it. But on a wide shot, we'd have Mike Edmonds, who's a little guy, one of the Time Bandits. He would be waving the tail around.
Yep.
And sometimes we'd have someone underneath to do heavy breathing. So there's an absolute minimum of 3 puppeteers, normally 4 or 5.
Wow.
And when he was dying, it could be even 6 or 7.
Oh, yeah. Were you involved in the getting killed by Leia scene?
Yeah. So I'm doing the left hand. At that point, I'm not doing the tongue. The tongue at that point is an airbag tongue. Yeah. And Mike Quinn's inside bulging the eyes out. And
Mike Quinn, one of my favorites. Yeah. 9 Nub, and just an incredible guy.
So it's kind of a small crew. We all know each other, and we've all worked together on several things. Yeah. You know, Jabba was a bit special. He's really famous.
Yeah.
And we're not famous, but he's gone into the language.
Once you're tapped into it, if you tell people I worked on Jabba the Hutt, people's eyes light up.
Yeah.
Well, I've told people, I actually just mentioned this to a few other people. Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie in all Star Wars. I was born in 81, so I missed A New Hope and Empire in theaters, but I was a little kid when it came out, and I was brought in by the Ewoks. So Mike Edmonds and everyone else who played Ewoks were like, that was my way in, and I love Jabba the Hutt and all of the creatures in the creature shop. So I have so much reverence for the work that you guys do. It's really incredible.
The funny thing is that when I got the job for Jedi, it was called Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But when I got the job, I hadn't seen the first 2 films.
Oh, and you're the second person to tell me this. So they're just not releasing these films in England? What's going on?
They were big. But first of all, I was in showbiz, so I used to work in the evenings.
Oh, gotcha.
and there was no DVD or VHS or streaming. So you actually had to go to a cinema.
You had to go to a movie theater. Do you remember such a time?
And so when I got the job, I went to find a cinema that was doing a double bill. And I imagine my first time seeing Star Wars and Empire was in a big cinema with Dolby sound, big screen. And I'm in there for 4 or 5 hours.
And back to back. So no time to breathe.
No. Yeah. And now I came out going, and I'm going to be in the third room.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
amazing.
On a little TV or on your phone. It's important to see these things in cinemas.
Yeah. I agree. I'm a big proponent of going to the movies. I realize it's expensive now and it's really hard, but we have a lot of people putting in work to create art, and we want to support the art.
Big screen, big sound. It's a different thing.
Yeah. Without a doubt. You also mentioned that you said a juggler, a fire breather, a circus performer. Yeah. Tell me some of the crazy stuff you've done, because I don't know how many people know that side of you. They know that you do Jabba, but or at least the Star Wars audience that's following us. We're a Star Wars channel, so I want to hear some of that.
Well, I mean, basically, I went to, when I was in my early 20s, I went to Paris for about 6 months. I met a French woman. We decided to travel around the world, and most people, hippie people, were going towards India. We thought we'll go the other way. So we flew to New York. We hitchhiked across to the West Coast, and we lived in America for 18 months.
Wow.
So the nearest I got to here was Austin, Texas in 72.
Oh, wow. Which I'm sure was still weird back then, too.
Yeah, it was a special place, place. But it's where I changed from selling jewelry. I've been making jewelry with seashells and stuff. And juggling was a hobby. And it was in Austin where somebody grabbed me and said, we're showing some WC Field movies. Do you want to come and juggle before? And I went, wait a minute, the juggling is more attractive than the jewelry. So then we went into Mexico for 6 months. And I became a street performer.
Oh, wow.
That's where I'd been juggling. I started to walk on my hands.
You lived quite the life.
Yeah. 6 months of passing the hat in Mexico. When I go back to Europe, I went, oh, that's what I'm going to be in showbiz.
Yeah.
So the reason I ended up in the film business was simply because I was an acrobat. I'd done mime, I'd done mask work, I'd done puppets, but also fire eating, stilt walking, unicycle. Yeah. I was just learning everything that I could in circus skills. It was not a thing then. Nowadays, alternative circus is a whole...
Oh, yeah, there's a whole crew who does, like, the sort of stunt work, choreography, all that stuff.
Yeah. And Cirque du Soleil. Yeah. A little circus set up by my students called Noble State Circus. They set it up in 89. They bought a tent and some caravans. They're still touring, and, they are now quite big.
It's amazing.
They treat you like the grandfather,
Well, that's fantastic.
They blame me. They say, You stopped us having a proper job.
Oh, boy. And speaking of proper jobs, you told me that you were retired and you're enjoying retirement, but you come out to do these things every now and then.
Yeah, I think it was around about 2002, and I was working in the local library. At that point, I'd given up showbiz. I was working in the local library as the computer guy. The internet was new. There was no Google. There was no Facebook. So my job was to learn that stuff and teach it to the staff and the public. So it wasn't books. I know library sounds boring, but actually my job was to play on the internet.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. So I did. I made a website and so on. And then somebody said, were you in Star Wars? And I went, yes, emailing. And they interviewed me. And then they said, there's conventions out there where people meet you. And I went, no, didn't know that. So 2002 was the first convention I went to. And suddenly found there's this whole fan club. And then we had photos. And
we are a wild group. And we will show up to Dallas, Texas, or Frisco, Texas, to meet 30 or 40 of you guys and get our posters signed and 8x10s. You have some lovely pictures of Jabba, by the way.
Yeah.
These are incredible.
Well, I see, because I had a day job, I couldn't do too many conventions because I was using my leave time, Right. So I would only do 4 or 5 in a year, maybe. 3 in England, 1 in Europe, if I was lucky, and occasionally an exotic one, like Mexico or Japan.
Yeah. They're going to send you to Hawaii. You say yes.
Yeah, you say yes. Yeah. Dallas. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I say yes.
Excellent. Well, we are thrilled that you're here.
Yeah. So about 4 or 5 a year is what I do. Yeah. And I've got dogs and, I live in the countryside and it's a lot more effort now than when I lived in the city to just jump on a plane.
Right. No, we have to convince you to show up to the shows. Yeah.
Yeah. Make me an offer I can't refuse.
Excellent. Well, thank you for accepting this offer. We're thrilled to have you. Tell everyone where we can keep up with you, your social media or online or website.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and, I don't do Twitter and Instagram anymore. Facebook's the main focus.
All right, be sure to follow Toby on Facebook, and of course, follow our Facebook page, the Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles 2027 Facebook group. We have about 100,000 members. We are getting there. And of course, tune in all weekend for coverage of Rebel Scum Con. As always, may the Force be with you.